The day predators realized why humans are invited to guard their elders. The gathering of predators. The Hall of Teeth was the most sacred place of the Ralthuan Confederacy, a coalition of predator species who ruled the outer spiral. Its walls were carved with fangs, claws, and bones, tributes to their hunting legacy. Once every decade, the elders of each predator race convened there. They were revered not only for age but for survival, the rare few who had lived long enough to pass down wisdom. Guarding them was considered a sacred duty, reserved only for the fiercest warriors of each species. Clawed sentinels lined the halls. Fang-bearing champions stood by the doors. And among them, to the confusion of many, stood humans. Humans looked fragile, flat teeth, weak claws, soft skin. To invite them among apex predators was an insult, many whispered. Until that day. 2. The mockery. Why are the soft bloods here? Sneered a Khan sentinel, its scaled arms rippling with muscle. It loomed over Sergeant Dana Reyes, who stood calmly at her post, rifle slung casually at her side. Decoration, another predator growled. Or bait. The human didn't flinch. I'm here to guard your elders, Reyes said simply. The predators laughed. They had seen humans fight before, clever, yes, but hardly apex. To them, humanity survived through luck and tools, not strength. Pray no threat comes today, soft blood, the Khan sentinel hissed. For you will be the first to die. Reyes only smiled faintly. 3. The threat. As the elders gathered, a tremor rattled the hall. Shadows rippled across the ceiling. From the great skylight, black shapes descended raiders. But these were no ordinary raiders. They were the Veil, a parasitic swarm species that fed on the old and the weak first, crippling civilizations by striking at their wisdom. The predators roared in outrage, claws and fangs bared. But the Veil came prepared. Energy nets dropped, binding limbs. Acid spatters burned flesh. The strongest warriors were dragged down in moments. Panic surged. The Hall of Teeth shook with screams. Elders stumbled, their sacred gathering collapsing into chaos. And then the humans moved. 4. The human response. Sergeant Reyes barked orders with a voice that cut through the storm. Form on me. Secure the elders. Her squad of 8 humans snapped into action, their movements sharp, disciplined, terrifyingly synchronized. They weren't the biggest in the hall. They weren't the loudest. But they were the only ones who didn't hesitate. One dropped smoke grenades, filling the hall with choking haze. Another deployed drones that projected false signals, confusing the swarm. Snipers took positions on the carved walls, rifles cracking. And Reyes herself drew her blade, not ceremonial, but steel-honed for war. Stay behind us, she told the predator elders. You'll live. The shift. The predators, disoriented, had never seen such coordination. Where they struck alone, humans struck as one. Where predators roared with fury, humans worked in silence, their efficiency more terrifying than any growl. A Veil lunged at an elder Ralthuan. Reyes intercepted, slamming her blade through its carapace, then dragging the elder to safety without breaking stride. A swarm of parasites scuttled toward the Khan elder. 2 humans leapt in front, one firing point-blank while the other raised a shield to block acid spray. They fell back together, covering every angle. To the predators watching, it was alien. This wasn't strength of tooth or claw. This was something older, colder. Pack tactics. 6. The predators realize. In the chaos, the Khan sentinel who had mocked Reyes earlier fought desperately, acid burning into his scales. A Veil nearly reached his elder until a human sniper dropped it with a single shot. The sentinel froze, staring at the small, fragile figure high on the wall. Why would humans, who were not kin, risk themselves so absolutely for elders not their own? Another predator, a tusked Gaur-th, dragged himself from under a broken pillar. He saw humans dragging elders to cover, taking wounds meant for them, never faltering. He had believed humans cowardly scavengers. Now he saw truth. They weren't guarding the elders out of duty. They guarded them because to humans, elders were sacred. On Earth, the predators realized, humans had survived not as individuals, but as tribes. Their strength was never in tooth or claw, it was in protecting those who carried wisdom, ensuring knowledge survived. The predators, apex hunters of their worlds, suddenly understood why humans had been chosen for this task. 7. The turning tide. The smoke thinned. The veil regrouped. Dozens still swarmed the hall, shrieking with hunger. "Sergeant," a human shouted. "Ammo's low." Reyes's jaw tightened. She looked at the predators, battered but watching. "Then we stop holding the line," she said. "We take the fight to them." She raised her voice, commanding not just humans but every predator in the hall. "On your feet. Stand with us. Guard your elders not as warriors of one, but as a pack." Something in her tone pierced the chaos. The predators stirred, rising. For the first time in their lives, they fought together. Humans led the charge, moving with brutal precision. Predators followed, roaring as they fell into formation. Claws struck where rifles drove enemies. Fangs tore where blades cut. The Veil, who had come expecting easy prey, found themselves shredded by a unity no predator species had ever mastered alone. 8. Silence after the storm. When the last veil screeched and fell, the Hall of Teeth was a ruin of smoke and blood. But the elders lived. Every last one. The predators stood in stunned silence. They had fought wars for centuries, always competing, always proving dominance. Never had they seen a fight won by selfless defense. Reyes lowered her blooded blade, scanning the hall. "Casualties." Her squad answered, crisp and calm. 3 wounded. None dead. The predators gaped. To them, such efficiency was unthinkable. 9. The question. The Khan sentinel approached Reyes slowly, bowing his scaled head. You bled for elders who are not yours," he rumbled. "Why?" Reyes met his eyes, tired but steady. "Because that's what we do. On our world, predators waited for us to grow weak, for our old to falter. If we didn't protect them, we lost their knowledge. We lost our future. We don't leave our elders behind." Her words echoed in the shattered hall. The predators, who had mocked humanity as weak, realized the truth. Humans weren't invited to guard their elders because they were the strongest fighters. They were invited because they were the only species who truly understood what it meant to guard. The lesson. When the elders spoke later, their voices carried a new reverence. "The humans will guard us henceforth," they declared. "For they carry the wisdom of survival not just in their bodies, but in their hearts. They do not see us as relics. They see us as the future." And so it was written into the laws of the Confederacy, in every gathering of predator elders, humans would stand as their guardians. Not because of claws or teeth, but because of loyalty, cunning, and the one instinct that made them more dangerous than any apex hunter. The instinct to protect their own, no matter the cost.